cool. Artist has done crazy, batshit insane thing now. Now you've decided to no longer listen to any of their music, past, present, and future. Okay, cool. A question that's interesting to me though is, if I was to ask that person, but do you, even though you have no interest in listening to it, and that's fine, I respect that, but do you think that the music that you liked is still good though? Do you still think Jesus Walks is a good song? Yes or no? One thing I will say is it's hard to not listen to Kanye's music. He's made such a musical impact. Yeah, I'm not in the camp of like, I'm not in the, oh, I can't listen to Kanye's old stuff anymore. I mean, maybe not his new stuff, because his newer stuff is kind of left what I like anyway. But I've always been quite big on the separating the art and the artist, especially when it comes to musicians. Um, there's only a few cases where, actually, I can't really think of any cases where I'm so disgusted by the humans, by the art, by the musician's personal actions or beliefs or whatever, where I'm so moved by it that it will make me no longer able to listen to their music, or especially if it's old music that they created long before they had whatever crazy takes or whatever. I'm just not affected by that at all. College Dropout is still a banger, like, and or his entire first three albums, and some people extend that. Like his entire early work is, even before he was a solo artist, like, right, like the list of stuff you'd have to cancel Kanye on when it comes to his catalog is so large that some people don't even realize how much stuff he made for Jay-Z and for a bunch of other artists, prior to him going solo or having his own music career. So yeah, I'm just not in that world of like, I'm with you on that basically. Do you separate the art from the creator? Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like 99.9% of cases, I do that, and I have no problem with doing it. I know some people do, but it's just not how I operate, I guess. Is there something they could do to make you not listen to it? Nah, I don't think so. Especially future music. Like, if you're asking about future music, like, could an artist do something so like disgusting and horrible that I will no longer be interested in listening to later music that they put out? Like, after the thing that they did, will I now listen to their next album? If that's the question, then then I'm more likely to be like, you know what, depending on the thing that they did, then I'm more likely to say I'm good, right? But if the question is, are you gonna stop listening to that artist's previous music, like before they did whatever reprehensible thing that they did? Are you or now that they've done this reprehensible thing, are you gonna continue to listen to their old music? I will look that person in the face and say, sorry, but yes, if that bothers you, then smoke bomb your way out of my face, because I don't care what the person did. Like, in most cases, I'm even trying to think right now, like, is there something that a person could do? Is there something that a person can do that would make me no longer listen to their old music? And I guess it depends what like, if by listen you mean go out of my way to play their music and enjoy it, then there may be some things, right? Like, but some people, when they say listen, they just also mean, like, if you're in an area where they're playing the song, or are you gonna react when, if you're in an area where they're playing the song, are you gonna react? Are you gonna have a negative reaction? Are you gonna try and ask somebody to turn it off? In those cases, then the answer is no. But if you're asking, like, would I go out of my way, like, oh, Kanye West just did this crazy thing. He killed two people and then he sexually abused some minors. So tomorrow, are you gonna go back and listen to College Dropout right now? The answer is no. But that's because I don't go out of my way to listen um to listen to a lot of stuff, But if it comes on, I'm not gonna suddenly not enjoy it. Like, the music itself is not gonna change in its quality. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I might change how much I go out of my way to listen to it, but my appreciation of it, if I hear the song, my appreciation of it is not gonna change, not even a slight tiny bit. what's the difference between past and present in this case? Um, the difference is because the reason why it matters a little bit to me is because well, quite a few reasons. One, it's a bit harder to separate it's a bit more glaring with future music because some aspect of that music may be informed by their current beliefs, right? So depending on what they did, it's possible that because of their mindset right now, how they view the world, what they've said, that may contribute to making a certain kind of sound or an approach or a concept in their future music because they're making music that has been created post crazy thing that they believe or that they've done. But with the music that existed before, prior to the crazy things that they've done or said or whatever, it's easier for me to separate it because I know that that music was or it's way more likely that that music was not made with that person's mind, same mind because they have changed now. Does that make sense? So that's a big difference for me. Like future music is way more likely to be informed by their current worldview, whereas the past music was going to be informed by whatever worldview they had back then. And Kanye is a very different kind of artist compared to back then versus now, right? Um, like this is the same artist that was very pro black. Like let's remember how pro black Kanye used to be. You know, with how he used to support black artists, and when he did the thing with saying George Bush doesn't care about black people, he used to be super pro black. Whereas now, it seems to be the complete opposite, right? So he's made a lot of music in the past while being a very pro black, you know, kind of a that kind of person with that kind of ideology. Whereas now, the music that he makes now is of somebody that doesn't have that same ideology, right? So the music, my feeling towards the music is probably going to change, or the future music. It's harder with R. Kelly music because some of his lyrics apply to what he did. Some of his some of his lyrics could apply to what he did. For me, I would say I would put a could there because let's be honest, it's not like every person in R. Kelly's romantic life or sexual history was a minor, right? So of course, there's going to be some aspects of the music that he made that when he's singing about a woman and taking them to the hotel and doing whatever, for most of that, he's going to be referring to women of age, especially because the sexual escapades and encounters that he's had in life is probably helping him to 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 inform the music. You know what I mean? Like the hotel track with Cassidy or all of the love songs that he's made, right? So for me, I don't R. Kelly's old music doesn't have that effect on me. I'm not gonna look at it and be like, oh well. Now, whenever he says like, "Come here, girl," like if there's a song where he's like, "Come here, girl," now I have to look at that as at like, oh, maybe he literally means girl. He literally means 15-year-old. It's like no, I don't think that's fair. But I understand that some people look at it that way or can't really separate that. Is there any other reason? Other reason for what's the difference between person? Is there any other reason? Uh, I guess another one could just also be, you know, me being in love with their prior work, right? So Kanye being an artist that just his old work is much more up my alley than his new stuff. That's one other one. Um, what else? I can't really think of anything right now. I guess the one that I described earlier is the main would be my main reason why it's not why there's a difference for the past and present or past and future music. Kanye's music has pretty much been the soundtrack of my life for the past 25 years. I can't just erase that. Yeah, that's a whole lot of years. That's a whole I mean, I'm maybe not 25 years for me, but his early stuff, first three albums or first two albums were rinse and repeats for a very long time. It's not that deep, but I would say if the artist had the same beliefs in the past, but no one knew about but no one knew about it, would give the past music and future music the same fun. Yeah, but that's the thing though, right? If nobody knew, like if I had no reason to, if I have no like, of I have no reason to believe and no evidence that the Kanye that made College Dropout believes the things that he believes now. And I think even within his music, you can see that. Whether it's the interviews of him back then and the content of his music, for me, that gives me comfort to know that it's very, very unlikely that Kanye, college dropout Kanye, late registration Kanye, is had the same beliefs he has now, right? And it's not even just a matter of beliefs, right? I think that's another thing as well. It's not just the beliefs, it's the things that he said and done now. The things that he said about Jay-Z's children, the things that he said about Jewish people, about women, about his wife, about or his Kim Kardashian, right? The things that he's actually put out into the world, which is quite hurtful, right? And the things that he's done, like I don't know if you saw the Iggy Azalea's story about how Kanye invited her to, some listening parties or meetings, and just the way that he behaved, like saying that Kanye literally told her to her face that he masturbates over her pictures, like with a straight face, that he masturbates to her every morning or whatever. Like the things that he's done and said and made people feel is like he's put it into the universe, right? So whereas back then, when he made College Dropout, he wasn't putting those things out into the universe. He was just putting his music out. So even if he did have those beliefs secretly back then, at least he wasn't jettisoning them into the actual, stratosphere, right? So for me, that's a big component to it as well. Like it's tangibly harder for me to decide to listen to the music of a person who has said the things that he said lately, right? Well, not even lately, like in the past, I don't know, for quite a while now, like the past 4 or 5 years, just the stuff that he said and done. That's a lot more harder for me to get behind than the possibility that he may have just believed those things back in the college dropout days, but never acted on it, right? But like I said, I think that the content of his music and what old interviews of him and how he would carry himself back then, it's quite clear that the Kanye that existed back then, before his mom passed away, before certain like life events that he's been through, that individual is clearly a different person to the individual that exists now. Is it an issue if it was a physical thing they did in the past, then got found out like R. Kelly? Um, give me an actual example, like what kind of physical thing? Like give me a hypothetical. Because like a physical thing could be from punching somebody in the face to like straight up sexual assault, or like, or worse, right? Or like murder or something. Oh, what's up, JDX? Oh hell no, the Kanye done way too much to taint his own stuff now. Now even the older stuff. There's a certain point where you can't separate the art. People use that term so loosely. What's your position then? So for you, Kanye's said and done so much that you can't, you can no longer appreciate his old stuff. Is that what you're saying? Hypothetically, Kanye used to beat up Jewish people because he doesn't like Jewish people, and we only found out now. He says now, he now says, now I've made my money. I don't need to pretend and hold back my opinions no more. Um, and just for clarity, just before I answer, so I have clarity, are you asking me, will I listen to his music, such as will I sometimes put on his music to listen to, or or are you asking, will I continue to enjoy his music? Like if I heard his song, would I say, oh, that's a good song? Or like, because there's two different questions, right? Either you're asking me, would I listen to it? Or are you asking me, will I continue to enjoy it? So let me hear what you say first before I answer. It's not the same at all. After the absolute insanity, nothing he did holds merit now. You mean the music is not the same at all? Yeah, I just have a different approach with it. For me, the old music doesn't change for me. That's why C4 is asking me like my limit, because he's testing to see if there is a way that would change, or if there is a special case where I would have a change of perspective. Kind of both. Would you find his new music, and could you enjoy his old music? Would you find his new music, and could you enjoy his own music? go and find like buy. I'm not so the new music. I have zero interest. Like Kanye, like yeah, I just not only but I don't have interest in Kanye's new music. Not just because it actually has nothing to do with who he is now. It's just I just don't like the sound of his new music. So new music is out the window. Not happening. Regardless if he turned over a new leaf or not. Right. So the old music is where it's something worth exploring. So you're saying so kind of both, but I think that I kind of I mean I guess I can give an answer to both. Um, so so in your hypothetical, where in the past he was beating up Jewish people, and then we only found out recently. Wait, let me quickly finish this turn. Yeah, so in the hypothetical where he's beating up Jewish people in the past, and then we found out now. If the question is, would that reveal make me? Would I still occasionally listen, like go out of my way to put on College Dropout, even after finding that out? Then the answer is probably no. Not necessarily because of what I've now found out, but just because even though I like that album, it's not something that's like in my rotation, right? Like in my daily life, whether I'm on stream, whether I'm out at dance practice, like the kinds of places that I go, I'm not going to be listening. Like there's a lot of old hip hop that I like, but it's not part of my daily routine. It's not part of my daily consumption. So if my answer is no, it's mostly because of the fact that listening to his old album, is not in my daily rotation anyway, right? So that's gonna be the main reason why the answer is no. So the second half of the question, which is, would I continue to enjoy it? The answer is 1,000,000% yes. Even if it was revealed that he beat up Jewish people back in the day, that reality doesn't change the sonics of the music. It's still good music, right? And maybe this is a hot take, but I think I personally think that most people, like if you're really looking at what music is, I think that most people should have that position, because I find it hard to believe that a person can do an action that physically changes your 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 understanding or conclusion. It's like you hear a song and you like the song. The song is good. When you now find out that the maker of that song has done something that you vehemently disagree with, that doesn't suddenly change that the song is good. That the song does something nice to your eardrums, right? Like I can understand that a person can listen to it and be like, I don't feel good about listening to it. I don't feel good about enjoying this song because of what I now know that the person did. So I'm going to remove myself from listening to it. But even in that, there's still an understanding that the song is still good. That's the area that I find a bit strange when people, I don't know, that's the area that's interesting for me. You know what I mean? There's a reason why music is emotional. That's exactly why. I mean, yeah, but what I said still takes that into account, right? Like, but I just don't think that. I don't know. Again, I did say it's a hot take, so maybe like I'm okay with being wrong on that. Like I'm okay with the possibility that there's enough people in this world that enjoyed a song, just the sonics of the song, they loved it, and then the maker did something bad, and now they can, like, even when I think of it this way, I think there is a difference. Is what I'm trying to get at. There's a difference between no longer listening to a song that you know you like because you don't want to support the artist, or just like fundamentally, as a principle, you no longer want to support it. You no longer even want it. You don't even want it to be in your spirit. You don't even want it to pass through your eardrums because of what the artist has done. It's like you're forcing yourself, like, nah, I can't do it. It goes against my principle. That action, to me, is different to still acknowledging that it's a good song. Do you know what I mean? You can acknowledge that the song is good, but also say that I don't want to have anything to do with it though. Like, I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to support the artist. I hate what the artist stands for. So I'm not going to listen to it. But you can still acknowledge the song is good. That's the difference. And I truly believe that most people should be able to do that. But most people just don't think of it in that way, or they're not concerned with having that distinction. But there is a distinction there. I really believe that's factual. There is a distinction between the song is good, but you're still choosing, you acknowledge that the song is well made. Whether it's the composition, the instrumentation, that doesn't change. The way the song was crafted to be a beautiful piece of music, that hasn't changed. But your appreciation for it could change. Your desire to listen to it could change. But the actual art itself doesn't change. That's what I find frustrating. So I understand the past music stance. I agree. I'm trying to figure out, why don't you use it for the future music? Well, I said it though. I don't. I think, like, there's multiple. Like, one, the future music is completely different. Like, the quality of the future music is not the same reason that it's not the same quality as the past music that I like, right? And also, it's harder for me to support the artist when they've said and done a bunch of things and then they've made music after that. Like, there's a that's what I'm getting at. It also depends on the severity of the negative actions. That's why I said Kanye has done way too much. There's no more comebacks. I I'm not disagreeing with you. I think, but I'm not sure if you're getting if you're I'm not sure if you're critiquing what I'm saying though, right? Like, I'm really getting down to a microscopic level of what it means when we discuss things such as separating the art and the artist, right? Like what I just said earlier, a song being a good song doesn't magically change, or I don't believe it should magically change. Your desire to listen to it can change. Your maybe your appreciation of it can change. Maybe even your understanding of it, right? Maybe the understanding of the kind of person that could make this kind of thing. Like maybe the fact that now that you know that this person's a horrible person, maybe your understanding is like, oh wow, it's kind of crazy that a horrible person could make such a beautiful piece of work. Like, maybe there's those kinds of things that you can, your perspective can change. But 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 the song itself now not being a good song, like not being of high quality, that's that's what I'm not seeing. I don't believe that. I don't think that's and actually, now that I think about it more, I think what I'm saying is true, but it doesn't matter because most people, they don't need that as part of their justification, right? All they need to know is, oh, X artist did horrible thing. I'm just not gonna listen to any of their shit. And that's where it begins and ends. They don't think further and ask themselves, but do I still think the song is good? Do you know what I mean? I think most people are not doing that. And I think, sure, if most people are not doing it, then that's fine. I just think it's an interesting thing to explore, right? Cool. Artist has done crazy, batshit insane thing now. Now you've decided to no longer listen to any of their music, past, present, and future. Okay, cool. A question that's interesting to me though is, if I was to ask that person, but do you, even though you have no interest in listening to it, and that's fine, I respect that, but do you think that the music that you liked is still good though, right? Like, remove the artist, remove everything, just the actual music, the art of the music. Do you still think it's a good song? Do you still think Jesus Walks is a good song? Yes or no? If they now say no, that to me is mind blowing. That's like a mad one. That's a really crazy. I can't square that circle. If somebody said to me, I used to love Kanye West, but I can't listen to his music, and then I said, okay, cool, I understand. He said a lot of things. You no longer have any interest in his music. Okay, cool. But one question though, do you think Jesus Walks is a good song? Like, do you think it's a good song? To me, you have to say yes, or you should say yes, but you should just, in addition to that, just say, yeah, it's a good song, but I have no interest in listening to it. I have no interest in supporting it. It makes me feel icky when I listen to it now. Okay, cool. If you say yes, like that, I think that's what the follow up should be. But if you say no, I'm not seeing how I'm not. That's where I short circuit. That's where I can't see how that's. Yeah, I'm not getting that. I agree, but with the notion that there's limits to the point where you can't separate it. I think that's what this discussion is about. Where I'm being asked, do I have a limit? Like, what's my limit to where now I separate it? The messaging within the song definitely is skewed, but yes, it's objectively a good song. It results in an even more negative emotion, which is disappointment. Yeah, sure, that could be it, right? I'm just saying, for me, the more I'm just trying to get people to explore, like, does your new hatred for the artist change the fact that, like, does your new hatred for the artist make the songs shit now? That's the question. Like, has some spiritual hand, some Buddha, Hunter x Hunter, the chairman, some Buddha statue hand, has the Buddha statue hand reached into the ancestral plane and literally crushed the song in your mind and your heart to the point where now the song is no longer a good song? Has that happened? That's what I'm asking. And if a person's answer to that is yes, I just have a hard time seeing that. I have a very, very hard time understanding how that's even possible. Because everything around it I can see. You can say you don't enjoy. You can say, I can see a world where you. Yeah, I think I'm just repeating myself. Like to me, the best, the most logical thing, or the most reasonable thing that could be said is, yes, the song is good. The song's goodness hasn't changed, but my perspective of the song has changed. My understanding of the song has changed. My desire to listen to the song has changed. But if you want to force me to answer, is it a good song? I can still say yes to that.
I've got a wild hypothetical.
Oh shit! Here we
Wild.
go. Yep, I'm ready.
So, actually, let's not use Kanye because it kind of taints it. We've got musician X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Musician X made really good music in the past. It was like 6 out of 10, whatever, no number ones or whatever.
Mm.
They have a scandal where they do something super heinous. Put anything in your mind, super super bad. Then they go, okay, I'm dropping one more album, one more single. Not even an album, it's a single.
Yeah.
But this single is the best thing ever created. Not even with just music, just the best thing. Like, this music is getting deers to bob their head to it. Like, every living, conscious thing on the planet agrees that this is objectively the best sounding thing they've ever heard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you, as Mr. Earthbender, going to the concert of this? Would you go to a concert of the best music ever heard, ever? And this is like this is Dark Phoenix. It is the best music now, has been, and will be in every dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to the concert?
And what has the artist done?
The most heinous thing you can think of.
Oh, okay. Am I going to their concert? I have two answers. The first one is a boring one because it reflects my current life, and then the second one will be more direct, hypothetical. So the first answer is no, because I've never been to a concert in my life, and that's largely because concerts, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit weird, but seeing the artist live, it never has been that interesting to me, especially maybe if I get the best seats or the best experience. But every time I see it in videos, or I see movies or Instagram reels of people at concerts, it just looks like something I would never enjoy. So that's the boring reality answer. But the hypothetical
by the way,
answer,
that's my answer. I don't
your
do
answer as well.
concerts.
Okay. The hypothetical answer, I think, is probably still also a no, because even when I pretend that I'm a person, if I pretend that I'm a person who actually goes to concerts, I think that the answer is probably an easy no, because going to the concert is kind of like going to a concert of an artist is a higher form of celebration of the artist and their music than just listening to it at home. I think that what it takes to buy the ticket, to travel there, to line up, to be in a venue where there's a whole bunch of people, where you could get hurt and you could lose your phone, like for a person to take it upon themselves to go that far to enjoy this artist and their music, that's an ascended tier of celebration of the artist, which I would find to be quite odd considering that this artist has done the most heinous thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I think yeah.
Would that be the same? I'm gonna make this hypothetical even more extreme.
Okay.
Say this music, people said when you hear it live, you're experiencing like beyond psychedelics. Like you get ego death, you see the creation of the world, you
Okay.
understand life, the
Right.
whole crazy like eldritch gods thing. Like you
Yeah.
just see everything for what it really is, right?
Right.
So it's not just about celebrating the artist. You get
Right.
something insanely big out of it. Does that change anything?
To be honest, yes, it would. I think it would. I think now the hypothetical is so like pointed and specific that one would have to say it. Like if you're now saying I might understand my own life more because of going to this concert, then yeah, at some point I'm gonna just have to say yes. Because
Right, okay.
because now we're getting into like utility where there's like a higher level. There's just a crazy amount of utility that now comes from attending the thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, then that's cool. It's the utility part. That's what I'm thinking. Like there has to be, the whole. Would you sloppy top someone for $1 million? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that. It's
Exactly.
what is the price? what
Right.
what will make you act or what will make you go against your principles about
Yeah,
not
yeah.
supporting a bad person? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah,
utility
most
is the
people
thing.
have a price, you know. Man said if I go there, I see the Doctor Strange, I see all the 1 million possibilities, and I see the one possibility to find my like future wife, soulmate, some madness like that.